It's okay. We should solve some problems. Okay. Again, wait a second. Let me quickly answer that doubt, whatever the theoretical doubt we had. So can you see the screen, Jitish?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can see the screen.
I think she is talking about the last question that she asked. She is talking about this one again. 4 spin-half particle in external field. Okay, in external magnetic field. Then what will happen? You can have a situation like this: one spin up, other spin down, other two spin up and spin up. These two spin up if they give mu into b, mu into b. Spin down gives minus mu into b. Other spin up gives suppose a plus mu into b. Okay, so this may be possible situation. Okay, I have taken spin up energy mu into b. Okay, it may be sometimes minus mu into b in some cases, and we shall discuss that because it all depends on gyrometric ratio, charge, everything, isn't it? Whether spin up will have positive energy or spin down will have positive energy, it all depends on the situation. I have taken just spin half particle. Okay, now in that situation, look at here, so three of them spin up, one spin down. The net energy, just you can just add up here, that will be 2 mu into b. Who asked this question? So can you speak out, Chaitanya?
It's me, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now again, how many possible ways that you can do this one? Okay, that may be the question, isn't it? Now look at here. If you track the particle, this is first particle, second particle, third particle, fourth particle. Is that okay? Hmm? You can have this situation: first particle spin
Yes, sir.
down, second particle, second, third, and fourth particle spin up. Okay, there is one situation. First is spin up, second spin down, spin up, spin up. Hmm? Spin up, spin up, spin down, spin up.
Okay, sir.
Hmm? Spin up, spin up, spin up, spin down. Okay. So just count. Just forget the first part. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 possible ways so that you can have this energy. Okay. In all of this case, one is
Okay,
spin
sir.
down, and so rest of them are spin up, isn't it? We call this one as total
So I
energy of
thought
the
each will
system.
contribute.
Yes. No. Again, there is a
Okay, sir.
possibility. All of
I
these
thought.
possibility will give the same total energy. We call this total energy usually as macroscopic property. Macroscopic property, total energy. Suppose all these spin-off particle may result some magnetization that you can
Okay.
observe macroscopically, isn't it? Again, that magnetization depends on total energy and all. Okay. So that is macroscopic property. Now, so corresponds to this macroscopic property, you have 4 possible microstate. Okay, you have four
Okay, sir.
possible microstate. Number of microstate corresponds to this energy. We usually denoted by omega, that's equal to 4 here. Okay, that count does matter for us again, since we are doing probability and statistics here. That count does matter a lot actually. Okay, whenever we deal with probability. Okay. Yes. So
Okay,
shall
sir.
I get into problem? So one very nice problem that
Sir,
is,
sir,
yes, tell me.
sir, if the system is three particle system, then 2 mu h is not allowed, I think.
If it is, I think 2 mu h is not possible. Am I right? If it is 3 particle, is that
Okay.
possible? No, I think it is it is never possible. Am I right? If you have so 3 spin up particle, am I right?
Okay, sir.
When
Thank you.
all of them are spin up, you have 3 mu b. When all them, again, this is the example that we have taken in class. Am I right? Or maybe ulta, sign may be ulta. Okay, one spin
Yes,
up,
sir.
other
There
spin
were
down. I think that will be minus mu b. Other possibilities, one spin down, other two spin up. I mean, these will have other permutation. Okay, you can interchange and you can have other permutation, that is again plus mu into b. Okay, these are the possible energies. Okay, these two will have more than one microstate. Okay, this is not the only so permutation that is possible. I think 3 permutations are possible correspond to this one, 3 possible correspond to this one, only 1 and 1 possible corresponds to these two. Okay, 2 mu into b is not possible. Okay, that's correct. So shall I move on?
So,
yes,
Yes.
so I have a question.
yes,
Yes.
So if the external magnetic field, now we have applied only mu into B. Now,
uh,
if we apply
no,
if some
it's
we take any
wait a
integer
second.
like
it's a extra spin half particle. Okay, you have placed that one in external magnetic field. Is that okay? B, which is applied along
Yes.
z axis. Okay, so then what will happen? Your interaction energy is minus mu dot B. Is exactly quantum mechanical modeling here. Okay, so now so this can
Yes.
be converted into minus again mu. You can write as some gyrometric ratio into spin angular momentum and so on. You can write energy eigenvalue correspond to spin up, correspond to spin down. Am I right? I think that will be one is I think minus mu B, other is plus mu B, or sign may be ulta. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Again, these are the eigenvalues of this one. Again, so that is nothing but if B is along Z, so this will happen to something into SZ. Am I right? SZ matrix eigenvalues are plus or minus h bar by 2. So corresponding to, again, you can have
Yeah.
two state. Am I right? Spin up state and spin down state. Now
Yes,
that
sir.
states are recognized by ms value. Is that okay? Spin up, when we say ms is equal to plus half. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
ms is equal to minus half, that is spin down. That's how we say. Okay, these signs may be different. Okay, that depending on this gyrometric ratio sign. Okay, but this is the specification of state. That's how we say. How do you say it? Again, what will specify the state? Actually, our wave function or our vector in a Hilbert space, whatever we write, okay, ket vector, that will specify the state. But we deal with that one because we need a count actually later. That's why we don't deal with any vector, ket vector and all. We deal with what you call quantum number here. Okay, we say again, a specification of quantum number is a specification of state. That was the whole idea, I think, in that class, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to ask. So now one more thing. If in the eigen state, plus half or minus half state, if we
Okay.
get some other integer in that
Uh,
part,
I mean, then you again, for spin half particle, for s is equal to half, you got only two choice. Am I right? If s is equal to half, ms values are plus or minus half, isn't it? You don't have other choice. This is our theory of angular momentum, isn't it?
in the eigen state, sir, in the eigen value.
Okay, in the eigenvalue.
Now, if we get for the spin up, if
Hmm.
for the first eigen state, if we get some other integer or other term, then for the spin up particle, then we have to consider that one particular value for one spin half
Wait a second.
particle.
Let me do it correctly. Okay, h dash is equal to, again, your interaction term. I'll not write it as h dash. It looks like perturbation. This itself is interaction term minus mu dot b. Okay. Now let me take electron. Okay. Let me take electron for example. Then mu is equal to what is that one? Minus e by m into, okay, minus e by m into b. Sorry, spin angular momentum. Am I right? I
Yes, sir.
think this is not working properly. Yes, vector, isn't it? Now when you substitute this one, what will happen is minus mu is again one more minus you have here, e by m into s vector dot b. I can write as b into k cap. I mean, it is along z axis. That's how we have taken. Am I right? So that I can write it as e by m into, I'll take b here, s z. So now corresponds to, again, so this will have two eigenstates for spin half. So we are going to take plus h bar by 2 eigenvalue. Okay, that plus h bar by 2 multiplied with this one, e h bar by 2m into b, that is one of the eigenvalue. Other eigenvalue we call that one as spin down, corresponds to minus h bar by 2 minus e h bar by 2m into b. Okay, this one usually we call this one as Bohr magneton, h bar e by 2m. Okay, where m is the mass of the electron. We write it as mu b into b. We write this one as minus mu b into b. So this is how it is done actually. If you take electron, so again minus e by m is the gyrometric ratio. Am I right? Factor 2 is going to come actually. Q by 2m is the gyrometric ratio for classical spinning particle, but electron g factor is 2. So that's how you can talk about like this. Is that okay? Yeah. So now ask the
Yes.
question.
Yes, sir.
Now
I
I think it is
understood that.
clear, isn't it? Now usually
Yes.
in statistical
Yes.
physics exam they will not give this much, okay. They will just mention mu into b, plus or minus mu into b. They will mention possible energies like that simply, okay. They will
Okay.
not do this much actually. Is that clear?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, any other question, or we shall take the question at the end, okay. I mean that class question at the end, because I wish to solve some problems here. Let me take the question at the end, and if you have any question regarding this problem you can quickly ask, okay. I think you might have tried this one. Is that visible? Is that visible? Or I think if you solve this question I think it doesn't matter, isn't it? You can try this question later. Let me delete this one. Or so let it be, we shall somehow manage, okay. Two drunks start out together at the origin, each having equal probability of making a step to the left or right along the x-axis, okay. Equal probability, hmm? Equal probability of making the step to the left or right along x-axis. Again somehow you again, so they will not collide with respect to each other, okay. That's how you have to assume here. Find the probability that they meet again after n step. That's the question, okay. So each of them again will take n step, capital n number of step. So find the probability that they meet again after n step. That's the question, okay. This is to be understood that again, so he gave some hint and all. Again one more what you call part of the question is, this is to be understood that make their men make the steps simultaneously, okay. That's the point that you have to note down here. Now look at here, if you want to apply your probability distribution. Now again if you take again suppose let me create x-axis like this, okay. This is origin. So again let me create the same x-axis for other person. Okay, let me create it like this, okay. Suppose again they both start their journey from the origin. Hmm? So initially they were at the origin. Look at here, making the step to the left or right along the x-axis. I think yeah, two drunks starts out together at the origin. Okay, they start out together at the origin. Let me define separate x-axis for them so that there is no question of colliding with respect to each other. That's the best idea. So after taking n step, okay, both of them will take n step. After taking n step, what is the probability that they meet at the same point, okay, after taking capital N number of step, okay. This is the origin. So whatever I have drawn, these are the length of the step. Length of the step is equal to L and all. You can take that idea, okay. Yeah. Now any question in understanding this question, this particular question quickly? Yeah. Yes.
So they both are in the same originally.
No. Again, find the probability that they meet again after n step. They need not to meet again at the origin. Okay, they may meet somewhere else after n step. Okay, so maybe both of them may meet somewhere here. Is that okay? That's what
No,
he's asking.
no,
Yes. Yes, tell me.
so initially,
Initially, look at here. He has
initially
given
they are
they are at the two drunks starts out together at the origin. Look at here. Hmm? So they mentioned that one. They start together at the origin, and one more thing, they take the step simultaneously, okay. So this is the idea. Now again, when you take these two systems together, it is just like you are tossing two coin at once, okay. Tossing two coin, I think second, tossing two coin once, isn't it? Again so each of the coin will have head and tail, am I right? Here each of this person have got I mean two possibility. One possibility is so taking step to the right, other one is taking step to the left, am I right? Again those are of equal probability, half and half. That's what he mentioned, okay. Have equal probability of making the step to the left or right, okay, along x-axis, okay. So it is just like tossing two coin, okay, just similar to tossing two coin, and tossing two coin n times actually, tossing two coin n times, or again so like that, so that kind of idea, but we have some other physical situation here, distance between them like that, okay. Now look at here again, there are again, when you toss the coin, look at here, you got how many possibility you have. Actually, when you toss the coin, you have head head, head head, head tail, tail head, tail tail. Am I right? So similarly, when you leave these two person to make so random walk, you have, let me write first person, let me write second person. Okay, first person can again, so in one event, okay, in one step, in one simultaneous step, what are the possibilities? Okay, so possibilities in one simultaneous step. Okay, so first person is second person, first person can move left, second person also can move left. Is that okay? First person can move what you call left, second person can move right, first person can move right, second person can move left, isn't it? Again, don't join again, if you are don't so request for joining. Okay, you just watch in YouTube. Okay, that's the best idea. We have anyway so recording. Okay, so other choices right, right, right and right. Okay, I think it do not need this much explanation, but anyway, now what are the probabilities? Probabilities are 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by only 4 possibility. Am I right? So 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, these are the probability. Just like you just write head head, head tail, tail head, tail tail. Am I right? That's how you are going to write when you what you call take again. So when you toss two coin ones. Okay, now look at here. So when they yeah, now let me see the problem like this. Okay, when they so when I take these two again, what you call these two person who was taking step together, when I take the total event, so I can make it like this. Okay, so there are three possibilities. Okay, when I treat them together, there are three possibilities. Okay, so three possibilities. So in each simultaneous step, so first possibility is they can move away with respect to each other, or how to say, they can move apart. Second one, they can move towards each other. And third possibilities, they can they can maintain their distance. Is that okay? So now we should find the probabilities for these three. Okay, only three possibilities, isn't it? Again, when you take these two systems together, only three possibilities. One is they can move apart. So in any step, okay, you don't have to take first step. Okay, so you can take any middle step, any arbitrary middle step. So they can move apart. Is that okay? In each of that arbitrary step, simultaneous step, they can move apart, they can move towards each other, or they can maintain their distance. Okay, so they can maintain their distance constant, isn't it? So these are the three possibilities. What are the probabilities of that one? What is the probability that they move apart? Can you just look into this one, and can you just tell me what is the probability that they move apart quickly, somebody? So when they move apart, when one will move left, other will move right. Am I right? Then they move apart. One moves left, other moves right, isn't it? If first person, let me take, this is first person. Okay, let me name this one as first person, this one as second person. Okay, first person, second person. Okay, so now if first person moves left, if second person moves right, they are moving apart. Is that okay? So what is the probability for that one? That is equal to 1 by 4. Can I just write here? 1 by 4 is the probability that they can move apart in a simultaneous step. Okay, so similarly, so what is the probability that they move with respect to each other? If first person moves right, if second person moves left. Am I right? Suppose you take it like this. Suppose one person here, other person here. Is that okay? Suppose first person here So second person here, again if first person takes step to the right, if second person takes step to the left, then they move towards each other. Okay, so that is the idea. So that's why probability that they move towards each other, again first person should move right, second person should move left, so that probability is again 1 by 4. What is the probability that they maintain the same distance? So that is addition of these two, this one and this one. Why? If both of them take step in the same what you call direction, so then they definitely maintain their distance. So here is their position somehow. Okay, if suppose first person also take the step to the right, second person also take the step to the right, again then they maintain the same distance. Suppose if first person takes the step to the left and second also takes the take the same step to the left, so again they maintain the same distance. That's why again probability that they maintain same distance, there is an addition of these two, that's equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, that's equal to 1 by 2. Now look at here, when you add these three you should get 1. So these are the three possibilities. Okay, these are the three possibility. Now out of n step, okay, out of n step, let me take, so n1 step. Okay, so this n1 steps is for each person. Okay, n1 step, so they move apart. Okay, n1 number of step corresponds to correspond to the situation that they move apart. Okay, moving apart. Okay, so corresponding to probability, that's equal to 1 by 4. Okay, so out of this n2 step, so there are n2 step that they move towards each other. Again that probability was 1 by 4. Is that okay? So out of this n, so there are n3 steps. Okay, n3 simultaneous step that they maintain distance. Okay, maintain constant distance. So that probability is 1 by 2. Now you can have just like what we have done is, we have done in case of binomial distribution. What we have done, we have done p plus q raised to n, isn't it? Again success, failure, whole power n. N is the number of trials actually. Now we have p plus q plus r whole power n. Is that okay? So can I take it like this? Suppose this is p, so this is, one is p, other is q, other is r. Is that okay? So there are three possibilities. When you add them, you should get actually 1 actually. This is a kind of trinomial distribution. I can say like this. Okay, it's a kind of trinomial possibility because you have three possibility. Okay, now look at here. So probability of getting n1 step so that they move apart, n2 step that they move towards each other, n3 step they move again. So n3 step, they n3 simultaneous step they maintain constant distance out of n trial. Okay, out of total n trial, that's equal to bind this is a trinomial quotient. This is n factorial divided by n1 factorial, n2 factorial, n3 factorial. You can just extend the same idea. So p raised to n1, q raised to n2, r raised to n3. You can take the generalized one, because so how I got this one. So by just taking, look at here, p plus q plus r whole power n. Okay, in this in this trinomial expansion, again this is a term actually, so that will give the probability actually. Okay, so now here we need a probability that they meet each other. Okay, they meet with respect to each other. Okay, they meet somewhere they meet with each other when n1 is equal to n2. If number of simultaneous step they have taken to move apart is equal to number of simultaneous step they have taken to move towards each other, if those two are equal, then again this many number of steps they maintain distance actually, so that when n1 is equal to n2, actually they meet each other. Okay, they meet each other. If n1 is equal to n2, is that okay? So now we should find that possibility, am I right? So if n1 is equal to n2, okay, look at here, for n1 is equal to n2, so there are lot of possibility of n1 equal to n2, let me write it as some n here, okay, and n3. So you should add all probability corresponds to this one. So this n1 is equal to n2, this can take many values. Similarly, n3 can take many values. Is that okay? So that again you should add all of those things. You should add all of the all probability corresponds to n1 is equal to n2 for all possible n1 and n2 values, so that n1 is equal to n2 and corresponds to all n3 values also. Okay, so now actually here if you want to check for normalization, this normalization is nothing but n1, n2, n3. You should run over all possibility n factorial divided by n1 factorial, n2 factorial, n3 factorial. So p raised to n1, q raised to n2, r raised to n3. Okay, this should be equal to 1 actually. So because this is nothing but this one, either p plus q plus r power n, that is nothing but again you can if you wish to write this one. So again n1, n2, n3, they all run from 0 to n actually. If you take that idea, then this is nothing but actually p plus q plus r whole power n. That should be equal to 1. Okay, so that's why again now we need to add all of the again each of the term represents some individual probability like that. Is that okay? We need to add up all again term. We need addition of all middle term in this expansion corresponds to this situation. So that is a quite tricky mathematical step here. Let me try that one. So if anyone solved this one already, you please help me. Okay, now look at here, we need probability. We need a probability that they meet with respect to each other, where look at here, we should make a summation. Okay, we should make a summation over n1 is equal to n2. Okay, and n3 can vary, n1 equal to n2 can vary from 0, okay, 1 and so on. Okay, n3 can vary from 0, 1 and so on. Okay, so that again, so maximum possible value is n actually. N factorial divided by n1 factorial, n2 factorial, n3 factorial. Now let me substitute p, q and r. P is nothing but 1 by 4 raised to n1, q is nothing but 1 by 4 raised to n2, r is nothing but 1 by 2 raised to n3 actually. The trick that he has done in the solution manual is, what he did is he put one parameter x here, other parameter in the denominator of other one. Okay, so or I think yeah, he put one parameter x here, other parameter below x here. Okay, again don't worry about this parameter, you can put x equal to 1 later. So why he put this parameter? Because when x is again, so this whole thing will be independent of x when n1 is equal to n2. If n1 not equal to n2, that x parameter will remain here. This is a mathematical
Sir, just
If
fix one
n will be
person
0,
and just take motion of second person, na?
with 2n, that is the good idea, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
With twice
yeah, that's what I'm telling.
yeah, again you haven't told this step again. So you fix one person, you take other person doing two random steps simultaneously, those are equivalent. Is that okay? Fix again this is equivalent to again, so wait a second, let me just draw this one. 0 here, 0 here, isn't it? That's the good idea. Okay, so now what I do is again what I have taken each of them, so take the step simultaneously, am I right? So simultaneously as well as randomly. This is equivalent to, okay, keeping one person stationary, okay, and making other person to take two step. So again that's also randomly. Is that okay? So making other person again, so keep him at rest and make this person take two step. Okay, to make it two step, what do you call, then again what is the probability that he comes to origin again? That's what Ritish is saying. Ritish, again this is the initial condition that you need to explain. Is that okay? Again he is at rest, that again actually both are moving, this is the actual situation. What I'm saying is this is equivalent to keeping one person at rest and again making two step per time for other person and both steps are random, again what is the probability that he is going to come to the origin after, again if he takes 2 steps per time, total number of step will be so 2n then, isn't it? Again if he is taking 2 step, again suppose if these two person takes again each of them take n number of steps, then total number of steps together will be 2n. That's similar to if he is at rest, so equivalently he takes that random step rather than him, then total number of steps that he takes, that's equal to 2n. Again for him, again we can apply binomial distribution, isn't it? So probability n1 that's equal out of 2n step. Okay, after 2n step, so 2n cn1, okay, p raised to n1 factorial, so p raised to n1 q raised to n minus n1. Okay, so when this what you call, when n1 is equal to n2, or let me write in terms of n1 and n2 here. Okay, n1 here, n2 here, then when n1 is equal to n2, or I can write as 2n factorial whole divided by n1 factorial n2 factorial p raised to n1 q raised to n2. When n1 is equal to n2, your again when number of step again to the right equal to number of step to the left, like that, again he will come back to the origin where the first person is. So that is the situation I think he's talking about. He's talking about 2n for n1 which is equal to n2. So that will, n1 is equal to n2 means, yeah, so that's equal to again half of this one. Am I right? If n, because n1 plus n2 said, so that should be equal to so 2n. So that's why if n1 is equal to n2, that should be equal to n actually. So that I can write as 2n factorial whole divided by n1 is equal to n2. That is again n factorial whole square. How do you write p and q now? Quickly. Again half and half.
Yes, sir. The question tells it's half and half.
Wait a second.
Look at the question, sir. It's half and half.
Yeah. So rather than yeah, we can take raised to n raised to n raised to 2n. That is the correct one. Okay. So this is the good idea. This is what I needed. Again, this is the basic assumption, isn't it? Then again you can now again if you say these two are equivalent, then everything is convinced. Is that okay? Yeah. Any question here? Wait a second. Now still this explanation needs still more perfection actually. Yeah, total number of step. Again, what we can do is, rather than saying that he takes a 2 step per time like that, that's nonsense actually. He takes total 2n number of step. He take total 2n number of step. Effectively, these two again individually, so they take n and n step, total number of step. So why can I can take he takes 0 number of step, he take 2n number of step. Okay, or you can fix your
This is what I
origin.
was telling, because I was also worried when you tell that equivalent to this guy taking 2n steps. That was not correct. This is whatever you're telling right now is perfectly right.
Yeah. Now again, his total number of steps that he takes, that is 2n. Now again, better not to say that in each time that he takes 2 steps. That's not possible. Again, in each time he can take only 1 step. But again, these two are equivalent. One thing. Other one is it is just similar to fixing your frame of reference here. Okay, fixing your frame of reference at one of the person and observing other.
So
So
this
that,
fixing the frame of reference is happening because we are telling them they two will meet again at that point. So that is
yeah,
the reason.
again
Underlying reason.
so when they meet at the same point, again when you fix the origin, so when you fix your one of the frame of reference at one of the person, so this is just nothing but fixing the frame at this person. Okay, if you fix the frame at this person, even though this person is moving, so what he sees is after some n step, so again after again what he feels is he has taken 2n number of step, or he is taking again he's jumping 2 step, or he's taking 2 step randomly per time. That's what he feels actually. Is that okay? Again, because So because the actual condition is again these two are taking steps simultaneously. What he sees is he can jump off two. Okay, he can remain at the same point, and so he also sees the possibility. Am I right? The possibilities he can jump off two, or he can be remain at the same point actually. Either okay, what he sees when he fix the origin here, that will become binomial because he sees, according to this frame of reference, he sees that he will jump off by 2l distance. Okay, so or he will what you call so maintain a constant distance like that. Okay, so again, so when this person takes one step here, other step here, so he will maintain a constant distance. Okay, so that's the only thing that he feels actually. So anyway, I hope you got the whole idea. Okay, again fixing the frame of again your frame to one of the person, and so making other person to take 2n step, and again so that again so when again when I fix the origin here, so on this person again I'm just have to find when this person comes to the same point. Okay, so that's the condition. This is the good idea. Okay, this is the whole idea is very good. Okay, yeah. Any question on this one quickly? Do it like this only.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So that q to the power n2, n2 will be equal to 2n minus n1 in this case, right, sir?
No, again in the summation, so no, I just put n1 is equal to n2. When n1 is equal to n2, look at here, can I write it as 2n1 that's equal to 2n, so that n1 is equal to n. Okay, you will get the same condition.
Okay.
So we have taken this person takes 2n number of step, n1 is the number of step to the right, n2 is the number of step to the left. Okay, so that again when n1 is equal to n2, again he will come to the what you call origin. That origin whatever we have taken, that is the frame of reference of this person actually. Now in that case again this is correct. Am I right? This is again after 2n number of trial, n1 success. Am I right? 2n c n1. Okay, or you can take this one, 2n factorial, n1 factorial, n2 factorial. Again he will come to the same point, and n1 is equal to m2. Is that okay? That's what we can get the idea.
Okay.
Yeah. So any further question on this one quickly? Do in both way. Okay, do in both way, because again here we have one mathematical tool, isn't it, how to avoid and how to calculate that one. Look at here. So even though we needed a huge sum here, somehow he did by trick, isn't it? Somehow he grabbed that term actually. So this is very straightforward. Okay, this method is very straightforward because taking as it is without taking different frame of reference. So this is switching the frame of reference and seeing what effectively that means actually. Okay, yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, for the second method, we are making the first person as our frame, and we are making 2n steps, right?
Yes.
So this will be equivalent to the second person moving one step ahead, and the second person moving left one step, right?
Yes.
Then what if they move in the same direction along? Can we take as 2n steps in that case also?
Wait a second. So can you just ask that one again, the last question again? So what did you say? Yes. Again, I have taken so I have fixed the so reference frame here.
Yeah.
I made
Yes.
him to move. Then
Yeah. Then the first person is like the first person moving to left and second person moving to the right. That means it takes 2n steps
again.
ahead,
So
right?
so wait a second. Now look at here. When they move with respect to each other, so just see this one. When they move with respect to each other, so they see that they move apart. They see that they move with respect to each other. Both of things. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So then again, when if suppose this person jumps like this, okay, if this person jumps like this, then he will see he's moving away from each other. So or if this person jumps like this, then also he will see that they will move away from each other. Somewhere here, if this person moves like this, then he will feel that he is moving towards each other.
Okay, sir. I am asking that.
Yes.
Suppose they both are moving in the same direction. can we take as it is 2n steps? That's why I'm asking.
Again, in one simultaneous step, both of them can move with respect to same direction in this situation. That is equivalent to distance between them same, even though
Yes.
he has even though the step counts, the distance between them is same here. Is that okay? Again, taking the step together here in this situation, that is equivalent to distance between them, that's equal to same here in this situation. In that situation, that is equivalent to he has not taken any step.
Okay, sir.
So that total,
Okay, sir. Got it.
still some more words needed. Actually, yeah, if I got this one earlier, I could have come out with still better explanation. But anyway, that I think this is sufficient, okay, to solve the problem.
Sir, whatever Ganesh has commented is perfect, sir. You see the chat, he has given a very good statement. Ganesh.
This problem we can ask in another way. Let's say that person start moving from lamppost. What is the probability to come back the lamppost at 2n step? That's correct, okay. But look at here, when you make this statement again, somebody told this one. Am I right? Lamppost is also moving like that. Somebody told that one. Yeah, this problem is equivalent to this one. That's correct. That's correct. Somebody told
Sir?
that lamppost is moving like that. We have to take like that, isn't it? So that is the similar idea that we have taken here. Similar idea. That's correct. Okay. Yeah. So somehow try to argue here. Okay. So still better way, so that again you can convince that one to others. Okay. So that's the main thing that you should do. Yeah. The problem is equivalent to, yes.
Sir, can we say if one person making n steps is equivalent to two persons making 2n steps?
No, not like
this
that.
Question was asked by Anila in chat box, sir.
Wait a second. This is the problem is not like that. The actual problem is 2% taking total number of step 2n, that is equivalent to, so keeping one person rest again, and making other person taking 2n step. I think when she commented very long ago or now. No, both person again, if both person moves simultaneous to each other, okay, simultaneously, if each of them takes n step, okay, if 2% takes n step, that is equivalent to 1% takes 2n step. Okay, so let me make it still clear. Okay, again,
Sir?
So tossing two coin, okay, n number of time, that is equivalent to tossing one coin to n number of time. So both are equivalent, isn't it? And you are just counting some possibility. Okay, you are trying to find the probability corresponding to some possibility within that one. So both are equivalent actually. Yeah, quickly, any question? If one person made n step, then total number of step made by 2% is 2n. That's correct. Okay, total number of step made by 2%, that's equal to 2n. That's correct. But what we are doing is we are fixing the frame of reference at 1%, and we are just observing other person. When we observe that one, it seems that other person have taken 2n number of step when you fix the origin at one of the person. Okay, so that is the whole idea. So in the actual sense, he is also moving actually in the actual situation, but when you fix the frame of reference here, you will feel that you are at rest and other one is moving, and you are feeling that other one takes 2n number of step. Again, find the probability that other one takes n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left, so that n1 is equal to n2. So with respect to your frame of reference, so that you get the answer. Okay, yeah.
Sir, Saket Panigrahi has told that by putting n equal to 1, we get all wrong answer because n by 2 is not, n by 2 factorial is not defined like that he has told. Like eliminating options, he has given some
Okay,
statement.
okay, okay, okay.
But I think
I
n by
think.
2 factorial is there.
Wait a second. Why it is not moving? In the options, you wanted to eliminate the options.
Yes, sir. He's telling that if we put n equal to 1,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
but the
saying that
question remains why you should put
2n factorial. 2n should be in the bracket, okay? If n is equal to 1, yeah, n can be any value. Look at here, n can be 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. You can define all of them. But again, what's wrong with that one? I think all options will satisfy. If n is an integer, 2n is also integer, isn't it? All are the possibility. Mathematically, all of them are possibility. I'm not getting that comment, Ritesh, quickly.
so he's
Sir, how do
telling
you
that
define n by 2 factorial?
You can't define half integer factorial, that's correct, but there are some ways, but we don't do that one here. But
so there is a way n by half factorial, there is a way in gamma function.
yeah,
It
again,
doesn't
so
define
that's
in the
what
option.
so that's what I'm saying. But again, we don't deal with here. Here n is integer, am I right? How many steps you take, that's integer. That can never be. Again, where does n by 2 comes here? N by 2 factorial comes here. You put the bracket properly, I think you will have no problem. Okay, that is 2n factorial. 2n factorial, it should be in the bracket. I think there you are missing, am I right? Are you getting my point? Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
actually he is talking about the question you have given in MCQ. In
Okay.
that, in their option, there is a n by 2.
I think this is the MCQ, am I right? Okay, okay. The question that I had given, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I
Yes.
think there I just try to put some options, okay?
So then also if n by 2 factorial comes, it can be defined. How you can say it is not defined?
No, what we are saying is here that half integer will not come actually. Again, that situation will not come.
Yeah, physically situation will not come because half n factorial is not physically realizable in this case because we take n number of steps. How we can say half a step? It's not
Yes,
possible.
yes, yes.
So that
Yeah,
is
I
correct.
think the question that handwritten question, he may be talking about handwritten question where I might have designed the option with n by 2 factorial, but I think there is a right option. Am I right? I hope you can find right option.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So any further question here? Yeah, I think we spent a lot of time, but anyway, it was a good discussion. Actually, I want to discuss this one, Poisson distribution and its application. We shall do it tomorrow afternoon, okay? One short session. Poisson distribution, whatever I told that is of this type, you can write in this way also. And you have a couple of questions, just question on that one actually. Yeah. Anyway, we shall solve some question on Poisson distribution also. And I have updated what you call the Google Classroom. I hope you have seen that one. So in Google Classroom, I mentioned some problem. Just see the problem and try to solve all of the problem quickly. Any further question on the video that I have uploaded in the morning about microstate and all?
Sir,
Yes.
sir,
Yes.
Can you once again tell the difference between tau space and mu space, sir?
I think mu space is used for one particle in 3 dimension. Mu space is a phase space, okay? Mu means it corresponds to molecule, I think. One molecule, one particle like that, okay? So mu space that corresponds to one particle in 3D, okay? So tau space, again, that's also phase space. Phase space is called as tau space if n particle in it is again one particle in 3D. If you have n particle, all of them are in 3 dimension. So that so number of degree of freedom is equal to 3n here, degree of freedom. Here degree of freedom is equal to what you call 3 here. Again, phase space dimension will be double of the so degree of freedom. I hope you got that idea. Yeah. So quickly, any other questions? Yeah. So quickly. I hope you got the idea. Mu space means it is
Yes, sir.
one particle in 3D. Tau space means n particle in 3D. Okay. Mu space have got again your phase space dimension is I think 6. Am I right? So 3 position 3 momentum. Phase space dimension here it is 6n. Okay. Double of the what you call degree of freedom. Yeah. So look at here again in whole statistical physics we are avoiding that mechanics part, okay? I mean individual particle mechanics. We will never worry about if you have a system of many particle, okay? If you have a system of many particle independent of the mechanics of individual particle, I mean Newton's second law, whatever it follows, again we are trying to develop what you call physics or how to say a kind of different mechanics. We call that one statistical mechanics, that all particles together how they behave, okay? So that's why it has quite a large application actually, okay? Since it is again whatever the theory whatever we are discussing that is independent of the mechanics of the individual particle. Again we don't have to get into, again what will happen is if you have more and more number of particle, the irregularity comes actually, isn't it? Again if you talk about individual dynamics of the particle, more and more irregularity comes actually. That is the very difficult to handle the situation. Many particle system you can't handle that situation. You can't solve Newton's second law or Schrodinger equation, whatever you take, okay? Now the whole story that we are developing, that is independent of the mechanics of individual or dynamics of the individual particle, because individual particle have got very complex dynamics here. But as a whole, when you take more and more number of particles, our probability stuffs work very well, so that again whatever the postulate we do, again whatever the application we do, again that works very well. In one sense, individual particle dynamics becomes more and more complex when you increase the number of particles, but we are developing the theory which works very well when you increase the number of particles. So that's how the so that's how it proceeds. I think I'll try to explain that one tomorrow, okay? Yeah, any question here quickly?
Sir, we have to actually elaborate the laws of statistical mechanics. There are some 3 laws, I guess. Then I think what we are telling now will come into picture.
So can you just quote, because again I have many things in my mind. One thing is what you call Liouville theorem is a very building block actually. Okay, Liouville theorem is a building block, first one. So second one is there is a first law, that means you are taking time average that is equivalent to ensemble average. That's also second very base actually. I'm not getting what you are talking about, Ritesh.
So there are some basic laws of statistical mechanics given in Rife. Some 3 laws, I guess. Maybe I can send you the photo, then you can be able to.
I mean, so can you quote anyone? I mean, if you remember.
I mean, I'm not remembering it right now, sir. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
I read
Again,
it, but
one basic building block is one is time average equal to ensemble average is equal to ensemble average. So that is the very base part that we take. So there are some situations. Again, if you see the latest theory, that time average will not be equal to ensemble average, but we apply the whole story to the situation where time average equal to ensemble average. Other one is actually Liouville theorem. That's also another building block actually. I think apart from these, again, the rest of all depends on this one only. So again, we take ensemble, we count the number of state, everything. That's all depend on this one actually. But whatever see from the outside world, again, a big system which composed of very many small particles. Okay, whatever you see, whatever the average energy you see, whatever the specific heat you see, that is because of time average. Again, it's the average that all particles are contributing over a long time actually. So again, we shall discuss that one. Okay, that time average equal to ensemble average. This is very basic part. Once I convince that one, I think nothing else need to convince. Everything will be mathematical stuff. Okay. I think Ritesh, you are talking about. I think he put one law in Reef that what is that? In the state of equilibrium, all microstates are equally probable. That is the statement he made.
exactly, sir. Yeah, exactly, sir. One.
But that is in case of microcanonical ensemble. Okay. Again later we extend that idea. Again he take closed system at equilibrium. Closed system at equilibrium, all microstates are equally probable. Okay, so that is for closed system, that is not open system. When you take open system, when it interacts with surrounding, so not all microstates are equally probable. That again probability rules will come. That probability rules is nothing but our Boltzmann law or canonical distribution, like that. Okay, yeah, that's why I'm not taking that one as a law. Okay, because that is for closed system. I can't extend that one. But whatever I said here, time average equal to ensemble average, this is what we do in entire statistical physics. Actually, whatever we have to take, we should have taken time average only. Again, whatever we observe, we are observing time average of the physical quantity. But we don't take the time average, we take ensemble average in throughout the statistical physics. Okay, that's the first idea. I think I may not have time to explain that Liouville theorem. Anyway, let me quote some book reference anyway. Okay, yeah, any further questions? I think so tomorrow in the afternoon, half an hour, we shall discuss this Poisson distribution application. Okay, just a small application. I found a question in just exam. Okay, on Poisson distribution, and again that Poisson distribution can be applied in the situation where we have very random event which is very uniform over some time period. I mean, just like your radioactive decay and all. So let me explain that one tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Any further question? Theoretical question?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, what is that time average, sir? Can you explain it?
I think I better to take it on the board. Okay, tomorrow. Again, time average equal to ensemble average. Let me try to convince that one. Okay, time average means
Sir,
again whatever the average quantity you wish to take in your statistical physics. Okay, suppose if you need any average value, okay, you should take that one over some time. This is the time which is very large actually. You should integrate from 0 to t. You should write some probability of finding that one in time t into f of t dt. Okay, this is how you have to do actually. Whatever the average value you do, you should do it like this actually in the actual sense. But we can't do the time average, because again, to do the time average we should track individual dynamics of the individual particle. That's the main thing that we are avoiding here. We can't track the dynamics of the individual particle. That's why we go for what you call ensemble average. Again, that's what I need to convince. So time average means suppose yeah, how to take again, why again, so quickly ask the question again. What is time average? That's what you are asking. am I right?
Yes, sir. How
I
it
mean,
is related to symbol?
whatever the parameter you are seeing, okay, look at here. Suppose um, if you if you are just leaving a gas in a container, okay, suppose some cubical container, okay, so after some time it will occupy some volume, it will occupy some so it will have some pressure, it will have some total energy, isn't it? So total average energy, isn't it? Now that total average energy, how do you find that total average energy? That total average energy is actually again so time average of energy contributed by individual particle, actually total average energy, again, because individual particles are moving here, isn't it? The individual particles are moving in a very complex manner. So now you should take the average energy of individual particle, so over some period of time, that period of time should be quite long actually. Then you have to find the total average energy of the whole system. That is the situation we take, but we avoid that one because we can't discuss individual particle dynamics. That's quite complex, and since again lot of number of particle are going to play the role, so of the order of Avogadro number, we just avoid that one. Okay, let me try to explain that one, let me try to elaborate that one tomorrow. Okay, that's a good idea because that is the very base part of whole statistical physics. Rest of things are situation, okay, ensemble and situation. It's a good question. Yeah, any further theoretical question quickly?
Sir, you told that you will teach some part of thermodynamics. Will you do it or
Yeah,
will you
again,
continue with
so
static?
let me do in the beginning itself. I think tomorrow second session or so day after tomorrow, because once we start counting number of microstate, we shall first discuss entropy, that is defined as some kb ln of number of microstate. So again we have a law for entropy, law of increase of entropy, and that law of increase of entropy can give all possible thermodynamic relation.
Yeah, d is greater than equal to 0.
Yeah, that will give all thermodynamic relation starting from microscopic level actually. Okay, so the lot of applications are there in thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a very different thing, which can be applied even in the quantum domain as well as classical domain, like that, isn't it? Because it is not because of individual particle, what you call when you see the nature, individual particle dynamics doesn't matter. It's a collective behavior. So the outcome, whatever the macroscopic property you see, that's a collective behavior. So because of that, actually, again, the whole story of thermodynamics as well as the statistical physics, that can be applied in many cases actually, the ideas actually. Okay, yeah, anyway, let me try to make it still clear, because when I on the board, I think I'll be better than here. Okay, yeah. So quickly, any further theoretical questions? Yeah, let me take this thing. So let me take this thing. Now, I hope you have watched video until whatever SM5 that I have shared, and tomorrow I'm going to briefly talk about that one, and I'm going to continue with the next one. Is that okay? I'm going to briefly go through that one so that you can raise the question again tomorrow while I'm discussing. So remember, whatever we are doing again, so it's just for time sake, since I was not feeling well and I couldn't take class today morning. But whatever we are doing, that is sharing old video and discussing the same thing briefly, that is actually one of the method. Okay, I think I told Ritish and old batch student, there is one method that is found in US, again method of learning physics, that professor used to send old video, and in the classes, again students should watch that video, they should work out, and they should come out with the doubts in the class. Okay, that would be very good idea actually, so that you can clarify the doubt. If you learn the whole story in the class itself, your mind will be so busy in what you call learning thing, and everything will be new, you can't raise that many questions actually. So that's why again, so we shall see how it goes tomorrow. Okay, so even though it is in a situation, but there is an advantage of the situation. Is that okay? I hope you are getting my point. Anyone?
Yes, sir. Whatever we are doing is absolutely right
I
because,
mean,
as you say, we get many
again,
points.
we should not do that one again, because that old videos, again, one thing is, one disadvantage is small noise is there. Other disadvantages, it is not on one board. I think people on smartphone, they can't watch that comfortably. But there is one big advantage with that one is, again, you can watch the video, and again, since I'm discussing the same thing, since again I'm spending the same spending the time on same topic, you can come out with a doubt and you can clarify. Actually, you will get much more clarification. Actually, okay, that is the good idea. Or again, further, again, so from tomorrow, we better to have a separate doubt session. That's the good idea. After the class, afternoon session, we shall keep it for doubt, or this session, whatever we do on this Google Meet, we better to have a doubt session. That's the good idea, because without that doubt session, I think theory cannot be that level clear, isn't it?
So the method is very good, sir. I mean, it will be better if you share the video
I
before
mean,
the class so that we can
the
watch.
method is not that good, because again, I want to give you the better explanation. Hmm? in the in the
Yes,
in
sir.
the
But if I watch the video before you taught something and actually I'm reading something from books, so that will be that will be
that is
great.
very good
I
method.
mean,
Again,
from
let me
that,
yeah.
yeah, I'm getting new doubts from that. That's what that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is one of the method actually, but I don't want to follow this one in this batch, but in the next batch I'm going to follow the same thing. But in this batch, I want to give much more ideas, just like this time average equal to ensemble average. I might not have taught about that one actually, or I might not have derived all thermodynamic relations in the last batch like that. Again, that's why I wish to teach that one in the very new session. So that's why we better to have what you call doubts clearing session separately. Okay, whenever we have live classes, after live classes, because that was very fresh, we better to have doubts clearing session. Yeah.
Sir, maybe what we can do is whenever you try to teach new things,
Yes.
that is this new concept, we can go for live. And in case some old discussions, we can share the old videos. If you feel that it can be learned from old video, you can share that and we can come up with new doubts. And whatever we needs to add on new,
Yeah.
like you're doing this thing, it can be taught on board. I mean this, provided everyone are comfortable and you are not feeling well, we can approach
No,
this thing.
yeah. Again, I don't want to share that one, because again, those noise is there in the video. That's not good. Actually, all of you listen. You better to keep the volume half of the total volume and use earphone. Then you will feel comfortable.
So then why not second batch video? So you have taught in second batch also the same thing.
Yeah. I think I can share some second batch video. But
It's
again,
adjustable, sir. I mean, we
yes,
can adjust with that.
yeah. Again, if you
It is
use
not too
earphone with
creating too much disturbance.
if you use earphone and if you keep volume half of the total, I think you will not feel much noise. Okay, audio noise. Anyway, we shall do the new thing. We better to spend more time on this kind of session. Okay, I mean your doubts clearing session, theoretical doubts clearing session. That's a good idea. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, you should parallelly solve the question, solve the problem, how to apply the whole story. Okay. Yeah. So concentrate on that one also. Not only learning theory is enough. Again, learning theory is to understand the question, and again, you should practice how to apply them also. Okay. Yeah. We shall see. Any further questions? So shall I go offline?
Sir,
Yes.
can you please share variational problems and WKB problems done on whiteboard, sir?
Okay. I skipped one session was missing over there. Am I right? Solving problems on. I think I shared on WKB and variational. We did enough problem, isn't it? Just check it out. I think I shared some old video. Also, I shared. And we better to do it while revising. Is that okay?
No, sir, not the videos. I'm talking about the problems done via Google Meet.
Okay. No, I
So
haven't
since
done
asking
problem
about
on
that
Google.
whiteboard,
Okay. I think I haven't done on Google Meet. Okay. There, I think one session was missing. Problem solving session was missing on this Google Meet whiteboard. On not only that topic, on the topic of I think what is that one last topic? scattering theory also actually. Okay, I haven't done any Google Meet on what you call variational principle, WKB, as well as what you call scattering theory. Okay, and we shall do it while revising. We shall do it
So
while
you did for
revising. I
you
did
did the
up to
Google Meet for
perturbation.
We
perturbation.
did few
Up to
problems,
perturbation
sir.
we did that one, but we haven't done any Google Meet on that one. Okay, we shall do that one while doing revision and all, because now again the it's quite hectic, isn't it? Or what we shall do is, I'm starting revision for last batch. Okay, old batch. You can join if you can spend time. You can join. Is that okay? Again, for last batch, they are having exam in the month of November, isn't it? I hope you have also applied. You can also write the same exam.
So when are you starting, sir? When are you
I
going to
think I
start
should
that?
have started by now, at least by couple of days. Let me start that one. Okay, 1 hour per day revision. Okay, again I'm going to start from quantum mechanics only. You can join quantum mechanics and statistical physics revision. The rest of all
Yeah,
revision may not be
I'm
comfortable.
okay.
Hmm?
Yeah, actually, I do have my HU exam in upcoming months. That's why, sir.
No, that you can manage. If you are studying parallelly, I think all about time and management. Okay, if I am
Yeah,
doing
yes,
that
sir.
revision class, then I'll not have any afternoon discussion in this batch. Okay, both of them would be quite hectic for me. Or we better to have a night session or something. Anyway, let me try to put some ideas. Okay. Yeah, live classes are better, but live classes are better if you catch that one 100%. Okay. Yeah, again, only if I can't manage classes, then only I'll share old video. Okay, it's not again. Even I too want to explain in a fresh way, and again new ideas, and the same thing can be explained in a very less time actually. Okay, that is the idea, the whole idea. And I wish to put a very new thing in the every batch. Okay, that's why let me take all live classes. For time being, again, I have uploaded old videos. Okay, I may upload some problem solving session. Okay, because problem solving session, again, the ideas, that is my idea. Problem solving ideas are my ideas, that you need to develop your own idea in any problem solving thing actually. So that's why again I may upload some problem solving session from old videos, but not theory classes. Okay, theory classes I wish to teach newly. Okay, Sandeep. Yeah. Any further questions? Yeah, look at here. When I have seen, I hope anyone from Bihar. I think what is that Super 30? What is the teacher name who did that Super 30? There was a movie on that one, isn't it?
Anand Kumar.
Anand Kumar. I went through
Anand.
yeah. I went through interview conducted by many news channel on that on that person, as well as students from that group actually, Super 30 student. What they told is, again, it's all competitive exam and multiple choice questions. Okay, even though the whole syllabus and level of the syllabus both are different, but the environment that we have to create, that should be similar environment. What I observed very carefully, I think you can also observe very carefully, again, any real TV interview, not movie. Okay, so the real TV interview, when I saw that one, what I found is students used to say that they used to find their own technique to solve the problem. Actually, they some a couple of students told like that. Again, so a couple of students said that in that environment we used to think like, if somebody can do the problem in a very easy way, why can't we find our own method to do the problem in the simpler way? Okay, that's how they used to think in that environment, and they used to find their own way. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, and again, that's what I'm expecting from all of you. Again, you better to think in your own way to solve some particular problem. Maybe that may be simpler than whatever I'm teaching here, isn't it? Again, so that you will get much more confidence. Okay, So that's why, just like somebody was trying to eliminate the option, that is the good idea, because again in exam nobody cares whether you have done one page derivation or not, isn't it? Ultimately, again, you should come out with a good ideas to solve the problem. Okay. I hope you are getting my point. The point is, some student from that Super 30, he was telling that that again in that environment we used to try to find our own trick actually. That's what he said. So when you start finding your own trick, that is actually unbounded. Okay, the trick that I am going to teach, that the trick that comes into my mind actually. Okay, and in most of the coaching class they will exaggerate those trick, and usually in coaching classes that will happen. Again, they have to exaggerate trick to catch up the student, but the same trick will work in exam if same question appears in the exam. And again, even if you see any coaching class, anything, there will be 4 to 5 questions which may come directly out of notes or whatever. Even if you see my whole course, you will get direct question, some 3 to 4 directly question from any book. You can get some direct question from whatever we have solved in class, or whatever I have given as a homework, like that. But those things will not make you to qualify. The thing that will make you to qualify is your independency in solving the problem in a very unique way. That will make you to qualify. That will make the difference. Even though there are 10 repeated questions, there may be some repeated question, there may be some question from the book, there may be some question that I have discussed, just like MIT Princeton question. Again, even though together all of these questions, that may not cross your what you call cutoff marks. What will make you to cross your cutoff marks is your independency in solving the problem, new problem actually, independently. So that's what I am trying to push in the whole course. I hope you understand that one and try to move in that way. Okay. Yeah. So that's why being in this environment, that's a good what you call choice actually, and make use of that one. Again, feel it as a competition to solve problem independently and innovatively. Innovation. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, I hope I better to go offline. Any questions, Ritesh?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think we better go offline. We shall see tomorrow morning. Okay.